Hi there. Welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Monisha. Monisha says, thank you very much for your work. I have two questions that I hope you'll answer. She says, I really feel like I'm at the end of the rope now in my life. I've tried so many things out there and nothing has fulfilled me. I've also been searching for inner freedom my whole life. I've now been out of work for 2 years and I don't want to have any work that's out there because I've tried it all and I get bored after a while and I move on to the next. But now I feel it's impossible to even search for a job. So I've just given up and I'm just here waiting for something to show up. But it hasn't yet, and I can't go on like this much longer because of my economic situation. What to do? And she says, I found myself just sitting at home all day listening to you and other 3P teachers, and I really want to find this freedom because nothing else will do it for me. This work you're doing feels so right. My other question is, how can I rely on and trust something else when I can't feel that space inside of me? So how can she trust what she's hearing when she can't really feel it? I hope to be able to get the money needed to go to your school someday. Thank you for all you do. Okay, so Monisha, I want you, so you've been searching. She says, I've tried so many things out there and nothing has fulfilled me. I do a million jobs. I just get bored with them. I go on to the next. I get bored. I've looked out there forever for fulfillment and haven't found it. And I've been searching for inner freedom my whole life. And even now we're hearing she's searching for inner freedom in listening to videos and listening to other things. But it's this sense of a constant search and never finding. And I just want to tell you, Monisha, you are so not alone in that. That is the experience, I think, so often of a seeker, and we're all seekers at times, where it looks like and it feels like there's something out there that I need to find, or even something in here. It's really not an in-out thing because that's an artificial boundary anyway. Even something in here, even something in listening to videos, even something within ourselves that we're supposed to find, that we're looking for. And it's like this constant sense of it's right here and you just can't get to it. You're just a half step behind it all the time, always. I know that feeling. I think almost everyone listening to this probably has a sense of that feeling. But what I want to tell you is, the cliche answer is, I mean, everyone knows it's not out there, right? It's not in a job. So I want you to take the job thing, finding fulfillment in a job, completely off the table. It's never going to happen. You will never find fulfillment in a job. I 100% promise you that. So what if you can just take that off the table and just go do a job because you need it for money? You just do a job. And when it's boring, it's boring. That's okay. And you're just doing the job and you're in the feeling of boredom. And when it's interesting. Great. It's not fulfilling. It's not bringing you inner peace. It's just interesting sometimes. Great. And you're just doing an interesting feeling job and making the money you need to make. And then sometimes it's kind of boring, kind of interesting. And then sometimes you're really tired and you don't want to be there. And then other times it's actually really interesting. There's going to be ups and downs in feeling always, in anything we do, in any job, in any relationship, in anything of life, and how we feel about ourselves all the time. But that has nothing to do with the thing. That's just thought and feeling fluctuating. So I wonder if that, just as one little first step here, I wonder if you can see something in that, Monisha. If you can just see, you'll never, ever, ever find fulfillment in a job. I love my work and I don't find fulfillment in it so much as I'm just doing something that occurs to me to do. And then there's all kinds of ups and downs in it. Sometimes it feels very fulfilling. Sometimes it doesn't. But it isn't, when I know it's not coming from the job, it allows you to just ride those waves and not pin it all on something or someone. Same with a relationship, right? I love my husband, love my relationship. Is it all, do I always feel like, oh, this is so fulfilling? No, but it doesn't matter because I'm not trying to squeeze fulfillment out of it. I'm with a person because I want to be with that person. And there's going to be all kinds of ups and downs that come along the way. If I thought it had to give me something, we'd be in trouble, right? Same with a job. If you think it has to give you something, it's not going to work well. You're going to go from job to job to job, and then exactly what you're doing now, eventually say, forget it. I'm just too frustrated to even look. That's so understandable, but it's coming from that misunderstanding that the job's supposed to bring some kind of fulfillment. So take that off the table. It won't. You'll feel bored, you'll feel interested, you'll feel excited, you'll feel all of it, and it doesn't matter. And then you can just do the job anyway, and that's that. Okay, so that's just a little bit about the job. But ultimately, on this search for inner freedom and fulfillment and all of these things, I want you to kind of play with this idea that it's there now, right now, exactly as life is looking and feeling right now. So inner freedom isn't this idea that we've seen in other people or that whatever our mind makes up and tells us it is. And it's like, oh, I don't feel the way this person sounds, or I don't feel it the way this person describes it, so I don't have inner freedom. That keeps us, again, on this search where it's like we're just following this carrot and never actually getting it. And it feels like we're just 2 steps behind. But if we just go harder and go a little bit more, like maybe we'll get it. It's just endless. It's endless, and it doesn't end in the way that you want it to end. But that's because we're chasing something that's just a thought. It's not even real. This idea of what inner freedom is supposed to feel like. So again, kind of like we did with the job, let's just take all that off the table for you. What if what you're feeling now and in any given moment is inner freedom? So when you're feeling frustrated, that feeling of frustration is life. That feeling of frustration is life expressing through you. It is inherently free. You can't make it happen. You can't make it stop. It's free. It is just showing up right through you. And that is inner freedom, is this ability to feel this huge feeling of frustration. When you're feeling kind of despondent and I can't look for another job and all of that, awesome. That feeling is freedom. That is inner freedom. It's free. It's just showing up through you when you're in that experience. When you're feeling joy or happiness or bliss, same thing. Great. That is inner freedom. That is life showing up through you. So what we're seeing is it isn't like matching some picture, trying to get your feelings to match some picture of what your mind calls inner freedom and how you think that's supposed to look and feel. And this is not just you, by the way. We all of our minds come up with these made up pictures. What if this is free? What if this is freedom? All of it. And I know your mind's going to argue with that. Of course, it's going to argue with that. But see what you discover when you experiment with that a little bit, when you lean into that a little bit and you feel all the stuff that your mind is saying, this is not it, this is not it. What if your mind's wrong? What if you lean into that? What if you lean into that and you discover, oh, okay, this isn't what I thought it was. This isn't what my mind's telling me. There is inner freedom here all the time in every experience, not in happiness and bliss and fulfillment, in all of it. All of it. That's what no one ever tells us. Like that's that kind of missing piece that I think is so paradoxical and your mind will hate it and it just doesn't make sense. But try it, play with it, lean into it and see what you discover. So your last little question here is how you can trust this or feel this space, this freedom inside when you've never really felt it. And again, you have felt it. You just don't know because your mind is telling you what it's supposed to feel like, and your mind's making that up. So it is this. It's what's arising right now, even when that feels like suffering, even when that feels like constriction. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's going into that feeling that allows you to feel that space inside, rather than sitting out here with it and saying, it's supposed to look like ecstasy or bliss or fulfillment or whatever, and I don't know that. So I hope that makes some sense. Just assume there's no problems. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing missing. Everything you're looking for is this already. And see how that maybe allows some of this resistance to melt. Because all that's happening is there's a lot of resistance, because there's an idea of what freedom and fulfillment look and feel like, and you're not there. Your mind says, nope, this isn't it. Not it, not it, not it. So I'm telling you to flip that and see, this is it. This is it too. This is it also. See what that opens up for you. So thank you, Monisha, for sending this question. Thanks everyone for listening, and I'll see you back here next week.